A lot of people want to know what you got to do to win in life. The truth of the matter is, it starts with your determination, your heart.
Oh, we're getting to that kind of early. I didn't know that was coming that early. Um, you know, um, I've never, up until this point, and not even at this point, like I'm just really re-emerging back into a career in music. So, in my previous experience of being a professional artist, I never rose to that upper echelon of just, making hundreds of thousands, millions, billions of dollars just off of music. There have been points in my life where I've had a lot of money and, more money than my peers, more money than people around me, but I've never gotten there just by releasing a single, having a hit, having a successful album or anything like that. And the thing about it is, when you are an artist and you are still needing to, live your life and handle everything that you got to handle, and, being an artist is not your, like, bread and butter. When life situations happen, it can just throw you off. And, I was doing really well with my mixtape Deaf Diva. I was starting to get shows. I was starting to get play on internet radio, podcast. I was, soliciting it to DJs who was coming out with mixtapes and things like that. I had it all, the singles that I released, I had them all online. And right when all that was happening, the first major thing that just threw me off completely was my father passing away. And just the way that he passed away and everything that surrounded his death, from us not being able to find the will to, a bunch of people making claims on his estate, to it escalating into a family feud and just having to deal with that. And I mean, even now, 5 years later, we're still in the midst of dealing with that. So that was just the major thing that kind of just took me off of my square, where my attention could not solely be towards music. I had to deal with some very, very serious family issues. I was also in a situation where I was dealing, with my mother getting sick and her mother, my grandmother getting sick, and my grandmother needing to move in with my mother, and then me moving out of Jersey and moving down south to be near my mother, and just dealing with that situation. That took a lot out of me as well. And keep in mind, while all this other stuff is going on, like my mother being diagnosed with cancer, my grandmother dying, I'm still dealing with my father's estate and just that whole thing, that everything that had to do with that and all the family feuding and fighting that was going on. Well, once I get down south, I'm not down south a good year or so. Maybe it was a year and a half. I take that back. Maybe it was about a year and a half, and my grandfather passed away. So, just dealing with that. So, I mean, and then in between there, I did, have an uncle that passed away as well. And a lot of people in the family were saying that, a lot of the reason why my grandfather passed away the way he did is because he was heartbroken because, his son died. So I was dealing with all of that really at once. Because I'm not a professional artist in the sense that this is all I do. At that time, I was still going to work. I am a mother, so I do have a daughter to tend to. So, dealing with major life situations and then just typical life situations and just getting farther and farther behind. Well, there were some things that I thought I had to grasp onto when, this was going on, to where I could still be releasing songs and still be releasing music and projects and still even be releasing, videos. But I was dealing with the wrong people when I worked on that project. And, some of the people were legit. Some of the people I appreciate, I owe them a lot. But I was dealing with a lot of real bullshit people too. I had recorded another music video for my follow-up single to Supreme before my father passed, and everything just avalanched down into, this whole big pile of, life situations. And it started out being a situation where someone ran away with the footage. So it took me weeks to get the footage back. Once I got the footage back, that production team that I was working with, we had pretty much all fallen out behind what happened with the footage. So it took me months upon months to even find somebody else that was going to edit. So, getting it edited, and then in the process of, working out the particulars with the video, I still needed to get that song mixed and mastered. So, I was dealing with a lot of bullshit on that end too, just with producers and engineers and, people that are capable and have the equipment and keep in mind, all these people that I'm discussing, all these people are getting paid. So it's not like I'm out here asking people for favors. People were just giving me a whole lot of bullshit, and they were giving me bullshit at a point in time where I was already dealing with a lot in life. So not really having, that backing to just say, let me just take a break and just only deal with this so I can focus on the music. That's really what happened. I had to wait for a lot of situations to resolve before I could even get back to writing, just because it was just so much going on. There's shit going on in the courts, people in and out of the hospital, dealing with just all the type of different expenses that have to do with a lot of these situations. And those are three major things. So, I had to let a lot of that settle before I even got to the point where I could write again. Then I had to let a lot of things die down and calm down before I could give enough focus to get what I was already working on back on track. At that point, if I even wanted to get some of it back on track, because now we're talking like 2-3 years later, it's like, well, damn, these songs are old to me now. So it's like, do I even want to still come out with them? And being in a whole new frame of mind based on some of the new experiences I was like, damn, I don't even want to rap about some of this shit no more. I just kind of want to, just do something different now. Essentially what ended up happening is, I went through some other various life situations. I changed a lot over the last couple of years. And when I came back full circle to, just being in a solid place for me, some of the situations that I discussed earlier are still not resolved, even, as I'm recording this interview. But just all the life experience that I've gained behind everything, it's just like, this is who I am. This is Eisani. This is what I need to be talking about. This is what I need to be rapping about. And now I'm ready. I really don't believe, even though I hate to say it, but I really don't believe if I had continued on coming out with those other songs and, fulfilling my plan of what the other project was, in the time that I was working on it and I got distracted by all the other life situations, I don't even think I would have appreciated it. I don't think it would have done me any service. I think I would have actually regretted it. So for me coming back now, it's like, okay, I know I'm just so much more solid, got so much more knowledge, got so much more wisdom, got so many more things to talk about, understand things a lot better. It's a lot of people that I'm just not fucking with anymore, and that's a definite plus. So yeah, that's why it took so long. The thing about the entertainment industry as a whole is it's just oversaturated. But I mean, I look at it as every industry is oversaturated. It don't matter what you want to do in this day and age. Just like 7-8 billion people on the planet. Everybody's doing something, and more than likely, plenty of people are doing what you're doing. So I don't look at it like that. But I do know just entertainment always had, this kind of reputation as being hard to get into. So I don't look at that as being like a challenge. I just look at it being as it is what it is. It's just part of the business. So that whole thing right there, like, I don't pay a lot of attention to. I think some of the challenges for me were more personal than having to do with the industry. Trying to get some of my personal issues to a point, getting things resolved and coming to a point of completion, getting things to where, everything around me is manageable so that I can focus on this for enough time to get myself to that next level that I was on my way to before everything happened. If I could just get that step up, then, you know, that's where, you know, I can really navigate a lot better. And that's pretty much my main challenge, where everything is just, you know, putting out all the fires, letting things cool off so that I can focus for enough time to make something happen. That's my challenge. I'm dealing with a real ass life over here, not no fucking made up ass bullshit. There's a lot going on.